Hey guys, welcome to the homework number 4 front side video. Super exciting. So just a reminder that this homework is going to be really helpful for your quiz that's coming up next Friday on September 7th. So make sure you understand this. Again, if you have any questions on it, I know we don't see you guys until next Friday, but please stop in and see me or Miss Avra, and we will be more than happy to talk about any of these questions if you have any further confusion. So without further ado, let's get started. So we're converting the following currencies using the exchange rates below. So we're converting 150 US dollars to krona, and 1 US dollar equals 9.14 krona. So what do I start with? I have 150 US dollars. Multiply that. If I have US dollars on the top, I want US dollars on the bottom on this conversion, and then I'm going to put krona on the top. What's my exchange rate? 1 US dollar is equal to 9.14 krona. So if I do that, if I put this over 1, 2, if we multiply these together, we see that our denominator is 1, so we can just think about multiplying the numerator. And when I put that in my calculator, I get 1,371 krona. Good, let's move on to this one. So here we have 75 US dollars to Kuwait dinar. And so 1 US dollar is equal to 0.3. I think this should say dinar, so I'm just going to write that in for us. So we have 75 US dollars. US dollars is on the top, US dollars on the bottom over here, and we're converting to dinar. So what does it tell me here? 1 US dollar is equal to 0.3 dinar. Again, I know I'm right because I can cancel out the US dollars on the top and the bottom. When I take that 75 times 0.3, that gives me 22.5 dinar. So thinking about this, if 1 US dollar equals 0.3 dinar, which of the two currencies is stronger, right? So if we have 1 US dollar is only equal to 0.3 dinar, we know that the dinar is actually stronger, right? Because it's fewer, like physical dinars would equal 1 US dollar. So that's something interesting to think about too and to keep in mind. So here, moving on to the next one, we're going to think about 632 US dollars to Sudanese pounds. 1 US dollar is 18.4 Sudanese pounds. So I start with 632 US dollars, put US dollars on the bottom over here, Sudanese pounds, I'm going to write SP. 1 US dollar is equal to 18.4 Sudanese pounds. Am I expecting this to be more or less than the original US dollars? I would expect it to be more because 1 US dollar is equal to more Sudanese pounds. When I put that into my calculator, I get 11,628.8 Sudanese pounds. And there we go. Again, if you have any questions on how to set these up, please come see me or Miss Avra. I'm going to move this up so we can move on to the next section. So here we have a table of conversions, of exchange rate conversions rather. So let's get started with this box and we can work through how to use this table to get our conversions. So if I start with 400 Great Britain pounds, and I'm going to US dollars, I'm going to start with the pounds. If I have Great British pounds on top, Great Britain pounds on top, I'm going to put my pounds on the bottom. And what am I converting to? US dollars, so that'll go on the top in the second one. So I come up here, so the United Kingdom has the British pound. Good. And 1 US dollar equals 63 Great British pounds. So I'm going to put the 1 by my US dollar because that's what it tells me, and 63 Great British pounds. So I'm going to put that with my GBP. So looking at this, what am I going to need to do? I'm going to need to take 400 divided by 63, right? And so that says 0.63. Sorry, my bad. So I'm going to take 400 divided by 0.63. And that's going to give me, when I put it into my calculator, 634.921 US dollars. And this was more dollars than Great British pounds, right? So that makes sense to me as well because we see here that it's equal to 0.63 GBP. And that means that there's fewer pounds that are needed for the dollar, which means that I should have more dollars, right? Good, let's move on to this next one. So I have 717 AED, which is United Arab Emirates, I think that's the dirham. So if I have AED on top, I'm going to put AED on the bottom, and I'm converting to US dollars. So that's going to go in the numerator of my second fraction over here. So let's look at the conversion. So we have $1 US, so I'm going to put that 1 by my US dollar right away, is equal to 3.67 AEDs, which again is the United Arab Emirates currency. So putting this in my calculator, I'm going to take 717 divided by 3.67, and that will give me 195.368 US dollars. Good. Moving on to the next one, we have ROK, which is the South Korean won. So we start with 212 ROK. If I have ROK on the top, I'm going to want ROK on the bottom in this one, and we're converting to US dollars again. So I'm going to put US dollars in the numerator. Let's look at our conversion. So we have $1 US is equal to, holy moly, 1,135.68 ROK. So I'm going to write that on the bottom. Again, a good way to double check, can I cancel out my numerator and my denominator units? Yes. So here I'm going to take 212 divided by 1,135.68. When I put that into my calculator, I get 0.187167 US dollars. And that makes sense, right? Because if there's 1,000 of the Korean currency in $1, I'm going to have a really small, or like a small decimal of US dollars for only 212 ROK, right? Because we know it's not even $1 because it tells us right here that it would take 1,135 of the won to equal $1. Good. Last one on this side. So we have 300 of the Brazilian currency, the Brazilian real. So we have 300 BRL. If I'm putting BRL on the numerator over here, I should put BRL on the denominator over here and US dollars on top. Let's look at this. It says $1 US is equal to 2.027 BRL. So I'm going to match that 2.027 to my BRL in the denominator over here. So once again, I'm going to take my numerator, which we know is 300 times 1 is 300, divided by 2.027. And that's going to give me 148.002 US dollars. So again, I'm taking 300 divided by 2.027, and that'll give me 148.002. Good. So that is it for our currency conversion. So let's move on to our ACT problems. So these are two fraction comparison problems. So there's many ways you can do this. One of them includes finding your least common denominator. So you would try and match up your denominators so you could compare fractions. In this case, though, I think the best thing we could do would be to convert these to decimals. So thinking about that, if I type into my calculator, let's see if you guys can see this one. I'm going to turn off the light. Good. So if you see this, if I type, go to control and my division sign, you guys are much better at this than me, so you know, and I type 26 divided by 5,1, and I put a decimal place. Let me see if I can see that. Put a decimal point after the 5,1. It'll give me a decimal when I pop it out. So here it says 0.509804. So I know that that's what my decimal is going to be, equivalent for 26 over 51. Good. So next one, 1/2 is equal to 0.50.